Today we're building a house in The Sims 4 using only base game, but there's a catch. We have to make it look as close as possible to this house on the left, which I built using all of the packs in the entire Sims 4 franchise. I built this last night while I was chilling in my jammies with my humidifier on blast because it is drier in here than The Sims 4 has been with their pack announcements lately. And I was aiming for this snowy escape meets like cottage living kind of aesthetic. We've got this little pond over here, some differences in wallpaper, we've got siding, we've got stone. I did all the landscaping already as well. I'm gonna show you guys the inside of this build in a little bit, but first I want to see if I can get this side over here to look similar to this side, but not using all of the packs and all of the glitz and glamour, only base game in The Sims 4. So I think we're gonna start by roofing it. I mirrored this shell, so it's the exact same thing, only like the flipped version of it. So for now, I'm just gonna be copying and pasting the roofing that we do have, which actually I'm pretty sure I only used base game on this roofing. I built the house kind of just as I normally would, freely, as if I had no challenge at all. We do have to replace this wallpaper though, and I'm nervous about that paneling on the side there. I don't know how I'm gonna match that because we don't have that same style in base game. We're gonna get some white siding. I'm gonna put that pretty much everywhere as a base first. We also need a stone on the side, so I'm gonna go in with this one here from base game. I did a lot of mixing and matching in this build. I liked having like the different wallpapers to kind of like bring it all together. And for the siding, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it exactly, but what if I did something like a paneled wallpaper, at least for the roofing, so we can get that different effect? And actually, I think this wallpaper here might be our best bet. I'm gonna change everything I just did to that one. It's not gonna be the exact same pattern, but at least it kind of fits the same style. We're gonna do some black shutters for our windows. Those ones that I did use on the left are from The Sims 4 Cottage Living, and these ones aren't gonna be exactly similar, but I do like the look of these ones. And then for the black windows on the other side, I used from Snowy Escape for those ones. These ones look pretty similar to me, so these ones are good. To match that big, pretty cottage living door, one of my faves, I'm gonna use this one here from base game. It kind of has the same shape going on. Some window boxes, and the one thing I am concerned about is the landscaping. I think we're gonna have to use the use of debug, especially for those flowers going up the side. But I mean, for those of you that do only use base game in your Sims 4 experience, maybe this will be helpful and I can show you some different ways to use base game items. And also a little secret in The Sims 4, not so secret, but I mean, maybe you don't know. There are a lot of items hidden in The Sims 4 base game debug that are actually items that are from other packs. You didn't hear it from me, but if you do enough searching, you'll find them. One thing I actually learned while I was building this house is that you can do separate foundations. So I did this like deck over here, which I think looks good, and this lattice foundation. This is from base game, so I'm gonna go in with this, but see how it only like applied to there because I separated that area back there with that fence. Now I can go in with a stilt foundation and we can put this over top of my pond, and it's gonna just like add some detail that's gonna make it look cool and different. And then you just delete the fence, and I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I think I changed it on this side too. My game has been so slow lately. I don't know about you guys, but the lag for me just ain't it. I am not a patient individual by any means. Last thing we're gonna do is go in with some white columns, and I actually just realized that I had to make this kind of like an overhang instead, so I'm gonna just change that over. I feel like some new base game spandrels would be nice because they all kind of have the same sort of style, very much like 2014 Willow Creek, you know what I mean? A lot of the hedges that I used in this build were from base game already, so I'm gonna just go in and fill up wherever I had those. Same as the pond and everything, no packs needed over here. So all the basics have been applied. I've got my chimneys figured out. I did all the wallpaper, windows, all that stuff. Now we're ready to move on to the details on this house. And I won't lie, the lighting is kind of favoring my all packs build right now, so I'm gonna try and fix that to favor our base game project. I think in the background I used some of these like outdoor retreat, big trees, so we're gonna have to switch up that plan. Maybe instead of that big tall tree, I can like size this up and try and make that work. That's way too big. And then we have this. These are flowers that go up the side of the house from The Sims 4 Get Together. We don't have something like that in base game, so we're gonna open up debug. We're gonna go bb.showLiveEditObjects, and we're gonna scroll through base game debug until we find something like, I know there's these, but I don't really like the bottom part on it. We can use this and like size this up and put this on my wall, like even just along the bottom, so we're getting those flowers flowers there. There's also these that have like smaller flowers on them from Debug, so maybe I can like get those going up the wall too. Knowing that these things are hidden in here is gonna be really helpful. I can like hang these from the ceiling. I'm also adding these base game flower boxes just because they kind of hide in there and they match the ones on this side that I used from cats and dogs. All of a sudden, everything that I have in my pond has started floating also, so that's been really fun for me. I also have this cute plant on the patio here from Snowy Escape, and I have to try and replicate that, as well as this seating area that I have out by the pond. So for base game, we have some benches that are kind of similar. I'm gonna go in with this one and maybe like another comfortable ottoman. And then for my Snowy Escape plant replica, I'm gonna go in and just try and like put all these plants together, like potted plants. I think they're pretty good. There's definitely some differences, like the wallpaper on the side isn't exact, but I do think it looks good. I'm gonna show you guys the interior of this house first, and then we're gonna try and replicate that using the same idea in the next house. So coming in the front door, this is what our front foyer is looking like. It leads out to this kitchen, which I am absolutely in love with. I love the green and the orange and the yellow colors that we used in here. Again, there's gonna be like elements of Snowy Escape and cottage living. I loved the lighting that came into this build, so I really tried to get that like open, alive kind of feeling with the plants. There's also a ton of clutter in here, again, from like all the different kits and all the different packs with like kitchen stuff going on. Then over here, we continued on with the clutter. I used some like crochet things going up the stairs. Our Sim that lives here loves to crochet. We've got some pantry items going on in here. I had a hard time because these houses are built on a diagonal, so that's why I had to build out like these awkward like diagonal shaped rooms. Our bathroom is super cute in here, carrying on that same color scheme. I got some glitter on the windowsill that I made, hanging plants, and just like the green and yellow all throughout. With our living room super cluttered over to the right, super cozy as well. I don't know how we're gonna replicate this, honestly, and it might not even turn out good. And then going upstairs, what I did is I didn't have a TV downstairs, so I did this like little living area with a couch, more of like a family kind of style, like living space. We've got a desk with some more clutter over here, some plants, with some of the decor from The Sims 4 Snowy Escape as well. So this is our guest bedroom, which I'm gonna be bouncing back and forth showing you guys these anyway, but this is the first glance of kind of what I made. We've got a main bedroom upstairs here, and again, I had one of those awkward spaces, so I made a walk-in closet with Dream Home Decorator stuff over to this side, and I like this house. I think it's cozy. With that in mind, we're gonna start to first, I think, replicate that kitchen. So first thing I'm gonna try and do is match the essentials. I've been playing around matching my counters, and I think these ones are gonna be the ones that I'm gonna try and use. For our fridge, I need like a cream color to match the one from Cottage Living, so I think I might use this one. We're gonna use this oven here, kind of like a retro style like the other one we used. Oh god. Okay, there's our essentials. We need bar stools, which I used the ones from the Industrial Loft Kit, and they had this kind of green color on them. So let's try and see if we can match that. We could maybe use those. For these, they had like a green and orange tint. I have this cute dining table over to the side, which for base game, I need like a circle one. This is probably the same table, but without a tablecloth. Our lighting in the other place is way warmer than the one that I have, so I'm gonna be changing the lighting over. Maybe we can use that one. That one's kind of similar. To match the curtains that I have on there, I'm gonna be using blinds. I don't know if the fairy lights count as base game because they technically come with the holiday pack. I'm gonna avoid those just so that I don't fail this challenge. Maybe we can do something kind of nice with these. I'm gonna be adding these next to each other and shrinking them down. They're not gonna look like fairy lights, obviously, but I can make them have a similar lighting effect. And a big portion of this build that we need are the hanging plants. So to Debug we go. We're gonna have to get creative in how we're gonna pull this off here. We do have these in Debug. They're like hanging plants here. Let's try that. So I'm gonna raise them up using Alt-9 on my keyboard, and we're just gonna hang them in the same spot that my other ones were. What I can also do if I want to make them look a little different is raise them all the way up to the ceiling. So that way we're gonna have the planter box and the thing holding it up, but then we can also take this and raise it as well. The only thing I'm noticing is my lighting in here kind of is not the same at all, so I'm gonna have to change that somehow. So with all of the clutter and everything added, this is what our base game kitchen is looking like. Not identical, but we definitely have some similar elements in here. The hanging plants tricks that we use, all of the clutter. Some of the clutter in here I feel like matches a little bit better than what we used. I love the sunflower accents on some of the cookie jars and like cutlery jars that we added. Plus the plants on the outside definitely add to this build. It's almost like the wallpaper through the windows. I also have our pantry over here, which I added a whole bunch of stuff from Debug in there. I feel like I like this pantry a little bit better. And now we can move on from this area to the living room. room. So the living room in the front foyer of the house with all of the packs included in The Sims 4 looks like this. We've got some snowy escape paintings over there, again with the freaking plants going up the wall. I have a fireplace from Eco Lifestyle over here, the crochet kit, tons of elements that I know we will not have in base game. I will admit, this challenge is pretty tricky. Trying to match everything with items that we like don't even have in game is hard, but I'm trying my best. We're not gonna be able to match that pattern, obviously, but if I can kind of match the color somehow, then I'll be happy with that. I also need that green couch, which maybe I can find with this, or maybe this one so we really get that like industrial feel. When did this get here? This is new, I'm convinced. I've never seen that ever in my life, right? That has to be new. Maybe that came with one of the updates we got, but I do not recall having that picture. Interesting. I think to match this plant here, I can go in with this one from base game with the oranges on it. I am not 100% that this fireplace is in our stars for today. There is a big difference between the base game ones and the tiny Eco Lifestyle one, and this is just not gonna cut it. Okay, this might be weird, but hear me out. Base game has this wallpaper with like flowers on it or banana leaves. So what if we put that over here and maybe just for the whole thing to really give it that plant vibe over in the living room? And we can extend it over this way. It's the only thing that really makes sense to me, and I don't hate it. And then under the stairs in the house with all the packs, I have like this super cute laundry area with like a laundry basket. So I've got this one from base game, which does not compare, but I think I should be able to match some of the clutter on there. And then for the crochets going up the stairs, I'm just gonna match them going up the side with these here. They have like birds on them and the crochets had animals. So at least it's the same kind of pattern. So in our base game house, we've got our living area back here, which I tried to match to the best of my ability. We've got this over here, our front entry area. I like this area. I think that wallpaper was a good move. And the fact that it matches the wallpaper, like the brown down here kind of matches the swatch that I've been using. It does look kind of cute. We've got our front foyer area. I found this step stool in base game debug, which actually resembled this here from Snowy Escape without like the bucket portion of it. I have this area under the stairs, which even though it doesn't look as nice as like the cottage living basket with all the cozy blankets in it, it does still have the same vibe. We're gonna do the bathroom in our base game house. The bathroom in our all packs house is cute. It has like the window clutter on there, the bathtub. I don't know how I'm gonna pull this off because we don't have that base game shower, like the shower head standing alone. We're gonna do our bathtub in the corner, which this one is pretty similar to the one that we had. Big plant in the background over the bathtub. I'm gonna put base game shelving along my windows, which is what I used anyway for my windowsill, and then we can add clutter on top of that. I'm gonna replace the spotty candles that I used with these ones from base game. We had some soap clutter on here. I can add the toothbrushes, and I think the best that we can do, we're gonna have to use this shower. It's not completely against the wall either because of my freaking windowsills, but this is what we're gonna have to do. I'm just gonna squeeze that in there as much as possible. We need a toilet with a standalone sink right beside it. I don't know, I think our base game bathroom is pretty similar. So this is what our base game bathroom looks like. All of my essentials are over on this side as well with my shower, and then this is what our bathroom looks like using all of the packs. So pretty similar, I think, in terms of being accurate. The other one is very, very close. Although I did forget to add this base game robe, so we're gonna go back and do that. We are ready to go upstairs, and up here we have to do our seating area with the TV and 2 more bedrooms. Okay, so we're gonna get our TV. I think this is the same one that I used, so we're good there. I used counters underneath for like my TV unit, so I think we're gonna have to go in with these. This is giving me like Eliza Pancakes base game house. We're really lacking items that match the Snowy Escape aesthetic. We need a cutesy rug to replace the bunny rug. This is way harder than I thought. I need like an orange stand-up lamp. This feels very similar to when you see like those Pinterest fails, like the really nice version and then the version where you tried, but it didn't work. Instead of that bookshelf clutter, I'm going in with these trunks along with the base game picture that I had behind it. And then for our desk area, the desk I use is from Seasons, and that one is actually pretty simple. So maybe this one or even this one could be a pretty similar match. I'm replacing a poof with this like bear chair. Not the same, but like it's kind of hard when we don't have a poof at all. I don't know, to me that bear looks pretty poofy. Okay, so this is our computer desk area using all of the packs, all of the different clutter and everything, versus this one, our base game desk area. We have our base game living room over to this side versus this one over here with all of the packs. I think this living room was the hardest for me. These island living counters here have like different swatches in between, so they make it really nice to kind of combine them with like the different styles, whereas these base game ones definitely do not have the same effect, but that's okay. We're making do with what we got. We're gonna move on to our first bedroom. I think I'm gonna do the biggest one first. This is what it looks like using all of the packs. I think I'm gonna bring in that floral wallpaper again that we used downstairs. We've got tons of cozy aspects in here. I think I could probably make that one there with base game. So for matching this bed, the one that I used in the all packs build is from Snowy Escape, but this one I kind of think has a similar structure on the bed frame, and maybe this one is the most accurate. So we're gonna bring that in here. I've got my end tables to match. And then this shelving unit here from Snowy Escape, I'm gonna go in and try and match that with these, and I'm gonna shrink them down and like add them in different spots. So I've laid those out there, and I'm going into debug to see if I can find like a plank of wood that I'm gonna shrink down and put in between these shelving units. Similar to what the shelving unit is doing in Snowy Escape. That's pretty freaking accurate. We're gonna go in and add some plants on there, any bedroom clutter I can find. And I also had a small end table underneath here too. So I think I'm gonna try and use maybe, I like this one from base game, but I feel like this one might be a little bit more accurate to the one that I placed. On there, we're gonna bring back our laundry basket. I'm gonna raise that up and put it on that lower plank of wood. And also on this side, I had this small couch and again, more poofs from Snowy Escape. So we're gonna have to recreate that as well. I guess since we have this random new mysterious art piece, I'm gonna put that in my build. I actually do like that there. And the sizing is similar to the one that I've got in my Snowy Escape bedroom. I wish I had some floofy rugs too, because those are lacking in base game. And I use those a lot in my all packs build. So I've got this base game rug underneath there. This is what our base game bedroom is looking like, which I think this part here looks so similar. And our base game couches here trying to pull off that Snowy Escape vibe. I still have to do our closet area, which instead of using the Dream Home Decorator hanging closet pieces, I'm going to be using these, which I do not miss having to use in place of those Dream Home Decorator things all the time. And I'm going to be going in with like this here. There's also the shoe racks we can use. The walk-in closet does look nice with this bedroom though. So we've got our bedroom all finished with our walk-in closet complete. And we have one more bedroom to do, which is just like a guest bedroom or a kid's bedroom if you wanted to like put kids in here. This is what it looks like in the all packs bedroom. So we've got the Snowy Escape single bed, dresser over to the back. We've got our Jungle Adventure mirror on the wall and some more clutter hanging out in here as well. The wallpaper I used had this like half and half thing going on. This one's got a pattern on it, but it's kind of close to the like half colors that were on the wallpaper, or even this one could work. I'm gonna use this bed to match the one that I had in the all packs house with like a dark brown end table beside it. This rug actually matches pretty well to the color palette that I used for the Dream Home Decorator one. We need a plant on the back side here, and then I'm gonna have to figure out how I can do that Jungle Adventure mirror, which there's no way I'm gonna be able to pull off the same aesthetic. Maybe we can use this one since it's like leaning against the wall a little bit. We also had like the freestanding ones that maybe we could have used, but I think I'm gonna keep that one. The last thing I need is a brown dresser that's gonna stand up on this wall, and this is what our base game bedroom is looking like. We've got our dresser around the back, our mirror, our plant, the rug, and the colors hopefully matching, and we're comparing this to this one here, which is using all of the packs in The Sims 4. So hopefully this house is similar to the base game one. I tried my best. There's a lot of items that we don't have like in base game at all, so getting creative and making those items work somehow was really fun for me. So this is how our all packs in The Sims 4 versus base game build challenge turned out. I'm gonna put both of these on the gallery under Sydneymacoretta so you can download each of those if you want. And if you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. And that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.